Okay, we're going to replace the laptop screen of this Acer Aspire 5534. And first off, what you have to do is make sure that the laptop is unplugged and take the battery out. Now we can go ahead and start taking the bezel off. You have to take off the 4 rubber screw covers. Then you have to remove the 4 bezel screws. Okay, once you have the 4 bezel screws removed, you can start to take the bezel off. It has to pop loose, usually from the sides or the top first. If you have problems prying it loose, you can use something kind of like a pocket knife. You just want to be careful, of course, not to cut yourself or to scratch the bevel or the computer's cover. Just kind of pry it a little if you have to. Now as you get down towards the bottom, carefully get the cover, the hinge cover loose, making sure that that pulls away. Now, it's also recommended, to make things easier, to screw back in 2 of the bezel screws back into the back of the cover to hold it into place. Now what you can do is go ahead and remove the screws of the screen. Okay, then you pull the screen up a little. You've got this little plug right here that has to come unplugged. You lay the screen down on top of the keyboard carefully. Now you got a piece of tape here that's holding this wire here. You just pull it free from that tape. You have a piece of tape here. Pull that free. That also holds your screen patch cable in place. You lay your wire down here out of the way. You've got a plug here that plugs into the screen. You want to pull that out of the screen carefully. Discard the old screen. You can get rid of that now. Here's our new screen. It came carefully packaged in a box. You should have a protective cover, hopefully, on the new screen. If not, you want to lay a paper towel down or something over the keyboard. You don't want to get any scratches on the new screen. And try to get this cable plugged back into the new screen. Not difficult to plug up really at all. Plugs right in. This tape is still in good shape. We're going to reuse that tape right there. Lay that back down. Holds it in place. Okay, with the patch cable plugged back in, it plugs in fairly easy. Taped back down, lay here in place. I'm going to try and line the screw holes of the new screen up with the screw holes on the cover. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my top plug. Okay, not as easy to plug in as the bottom patch cable, but not impossible. Smaller fingers are better. Alright, now we can go ahead and put our 4 screen screws back in. Okay. Go ahead and remove the screen at this point. Now, make sure that your wires are tucked back in behind where the bezel goes back. Go ahead and remove the 2 screws that you screwed back into the bezel cover. So now you can put the bezel cover back on. Make sure that the hinge, cover of the hinge goes on first. Once you have the bottom down into place, it's easiest to snap in the top first. Get that started. Then screw our screws back on. Put your covers back on, your screw covers, which are basically just rubber pads that are glued on with an adhesive. These things peel right off. If they pop up in the future, just use a little more dab of glue, something to help them stick right back on. Okay, close the back. Make sure that the bottom of the bezel cover is snapped back into place. Put our battery back in. Plug our power cable back up. Turn it on, and new screen installed. Thank you for watching.